Hey fams, welcome to another moment with Nwakama, and I'm the CEO of HTH Annepearl Ltd. Today I want to talk about building your first house. You may not really understand why I'm actually doing this, but because in my years of real estate, I have been able to observe that a lot of people do not know the right procedures to build their first house, especially in Lagos. So our topic today is building your first house in Lagos. This is key because you may not really understand where to start from, you may not know what to do, or probably you have actually made some mistakes regarding building your own house. I'll tell you things you need to know. I also make such mistakes, so I don't want you to make that kind of mistake. I want you to take to correction. I want you to learn from this, and I want you to actually pick up something from this video that would help you. Now, for those who are tuning in for the first time, if you know that you have not subscribed to this TV, please hit the subscribe button below and turn on your notification bell to get notified on each time we do a post on the HTH TV. Now, this TV is all about relationship, marriage, and career tips. So expect a lot more. We have a lot of videos via playlist. Coming back to our topic, building your first house in Lagos. Now, the first thing you need in building your first house is a land. Okay, now some people will tell you, I cannot afford to buy a flat, I can't afford to buy a house, but I want to build. Now, for you to build your first house, the first thing you need is a land. What kind of land do you need? Is it a dry land? Is it a water land? What kind of land do you need? That is a key. Which area do you need this land? That is a key, because you need to consider a lot of things I'm going to be discussing with you right on this particular video regarding your landed property and how to actually acquire a land before you start building. Now, you've considered, is it a dry land? Is it a water land? Okay, which area is this land? So all of these things are things you need to get into place first. They are things you need to look at first before you think of acquiring a land, right? And now you won't just be doing this. We're going to be looking at a lot more under this particular topic that would help you. So now that you've understood what kind of land you need, what next do you need to look at? You need to look at government development, okay? And when I mean government development, there are some areas government they have their eyes on it. I don't know if you understand what I'm actually explaining. Like if you check Ibejulekki, government have their eyes on it. They have the free trade zone there. They have the seaport, and so many other businesses, so many other government companies are there. They have an hospital there. So if you look at some key areas in Lagos, you will see that government have a lot of interest there. If you check Badagry, government they have their interest there. If you check Ekpe is becoming another beautiful city entirely. Okay, and why you need to check government development areas, because each time governments have an eyes on a particular area, it already tells you that the development in that particular area will be fast growing, right? So for you to really have a good benefit with government development, you need to consider this particular point I just gave you. It is key if you must get your own particular land. So government, they have eyes in Badagry, Ekpe, ibejulekki, Ikorodu, and so many other beautiful areas within Lagos. I don't want you just thinking of getting a land anywhere, but these are keys to get your own particular land. Now, the third thing you should be looking at is the safety of the land. Now, when I talk about the safety, I mean, who are you buying this land from? Okay, now we have maybe three kind of people you can buy land from. We have the real estate, we have omonile, and we have individual. Now, maybe let me explain it. When I talk about the real estate companies, I mean the real estate companies who are registered, they're certified with CAC and other government bodies, so that they can practice as a real estate companies, and their own land basically is always authentic. Their lands are always authentic because there are procedures they need to go through to actually make sales. There are procedures they need to go to actually know that yes, these lands are genuine. Okay, so and for the real estate companies, it's much more safer for you to buy land from a real estate company. They wouldn't sell a particular plot for two people. So I hear people asking me questions like, oh, if they give me land and they're not allocating immediately, what then happens? Will the land now, would they give me another land elsewhere because they didn't give me allocation in this one? But that's not the issue. If you buy a land from a real estate company, what they do is they will take you to the paperwork so that you can check the allocation. That's some of the real estate company. You will pick the plot available and they will note that down. So each time, anytime they want to start allocation, is that particular plot that you picked that they will definitely give you. And that's why I'm much more concerned about the real estate company and how to actually purchase a land from them. Now, if you want to buy a land from the Omonile, be ready that they may do whatever they like with the land, and it is not government approved business. Most times it's just an individual thing that they do, so you have to be very careful when buying a land. I'm not saying there are no genuine ones, but you need to be careful. Now, when you talk about individual land, I'm talking about land that they sell on distress. Somebody just want to sell the land because they need money. Somebody want to sell the land because they feel, oh, they need to make money, but they are genuine lands. So there are procedures to actually get all of this. But for you to get any Omonile real estate land and individual land, you need to be sure that you understand these procedures. And if you know you don't really know what to do next, you need to actually hire a real estate expert that can help you do all of this. It is key that you do all of this. Okay, now let's move to the fourth one. The fourth one is the real estate installment. Now, it is very, very good to understand that in real estate companies, they give room for installmental payment. And this is just very beautiful. It's a beautiful plan, really, especially for salary earners. Because as a salary earner, you may not have that cash at hand to pay for a particular land. But the truth is, if you have a real estate company that is willing to give you all of these services, I tell you, you'll be very shocked on how you make payments of a particular land within 6 months, within 1 year, at ease. Imagine someone who wants to buy a land of 700k and you're earning 150,000, and you choose that, okay, every month I want to be dropping 50,000, or I want to be dropping 70,000 to buy this particular land. What do you think will happen? Definitely, maybe in 1 year, you're already done in payments. You know, you make payment at your ease. But sometimes, if the installmental time is very long, they increase the installmental payment with some additionals. And those additionals are necessary because definitely land don't wait. Okay? Land do not wait. You buy land and wait. And that's why land do not wait. As land do not wait, that means the prices are actually changing, they are increasing. So you need to get this very, very straight. You know, few months back, I was making sales of cattle. About, I think, 3 months ago, it was 600k. One of the cattle Evans courts that I'm actually making sales for. And at the end of the day, just within two to 3 months, you know, the particular property now, as I'm talking to you, is 800,000 naira. It's no more 600. So for those who were able to pick for 600, good luck to them. And this land is at ibejulekki. So we need to get all of this right before we actually think of getting a particular land. Now, when you're able to get installmental payment, the next thing you need, which is the 15 I'm about to give you now, is the cost. Okay, cost is very, very important in land buying. When you want to buy a land, you need to consider cost. You need to consider how much you have. If you have outright payment, you need to consider that. If you don't have outright payment, you need to also consider that. Are you going to pay outright? or are you going to pay installmental, or which particular land can you really afford? Don't go beyond something you can pay. You know, there are so many people that have tried to buy land, but they can't complete payment in the stipulated time. If you do that, that's what they call default of contract, and so many things can go wrong. Maybe some of the money will be given to the real estate company. You need to be careful about this. So if you know you can pay installmentally, you want to buy a land of, let's say, 2 million naira, and you can pay installmentally, then you need to be ready to pay installmentally. It is key. Okay, so think of how much you have, think of the cost of land you're going for, and think of how do you want to make the payment. Okay, and when you talk about cost of land, so many cost of land it entails a lot more. So ask questions, ask your real estate expert, and I tell you, you'll be shocked on things you'll be hearing about this. Now that's the fifth one. The sixth one I'm about to give you now, it's key. As soon as you've done that, you need to follow the procedure of registering your land at Land Registry. It is key. You cannot say you want to buy land. You cannot say, hey, I have this land, and I will just leave it like that. Yes, you bought the land from the real estate company, you bought the land from an individual, you bought the land from Onile. The next thing you need to do is to register that land at the Land Registry. It is key. Okay, find out how they do it. Ask your real estate expert how you can do this, so that you can do it as fast as possible. That's the sixth one. The seventh one is get an architect. Okay, your architect may be a local or a bigger architect. It all depends on the one you can afford, so that they can give you a draft of what you want. Now, if you buy a piece of land of 600 square meter or a half plot that they call 300 square meter, then you can think of raising a 3-bedroom flat, you can think of raising a 4-bedroom flat. But I always advise people, if you want to build a house, you need to consider so many things. Okay, if you have the money of building a bigger house, a 3-4 bedroom, good and fine. But if you don't have that, you can start small. And I'm going to give you some likable cost of land or of houses you can build within that particular range. Now, you can build a 3-bedroom for about 6 to 12 million naira. Okay, you can build a 2-bedroom for about, let's say, 5 to 7 million naira. You can build a mini flat, you know, that's like a room, parlor, bedroom, kitchen, toilet for, let's say, 2 million naira. Now, I'm telling you all of this because I want you to have an idea of what you'll be looking at spending. Okay, even if you get your architect, this is what I want. Okay, and you start planning. So people will tell you, how can I build a mini flat when I need to build the main house? Now, it is key that you plan the way you can. Now, if you buy a land in a place where it's still developing, like you want to move in 3 years, you want to move in 2 years, and you know that place is fast developing, like ibejulekki. If you have a land around ibejulekki, very close to the Dangote refinery, you will know that it's a place that people will start living in the next 2-3 years. And for you to build in that kind of place, you don't have your bulk money at that moment. So what you need at that moment is to try as much as you can to build the capacity of what you can afford and live in it. Now, if you have a 600 square meter, you just go to the back end, build a mini flat. Okay, build a mini flat. You can start with a mini flat. If you start with a mini flat, you can move into the mini flat. While you have money, you're building the main house, right? So get your architect to get all of this designed for you and start working on it. Okay, now I'll give you the last one, which is the seventh one. Okay, and that seventh one is this: when it comes to the roofing level, do not underrate it. Do not go for any kind of roofing. Be sure you're getting professionals that will roof for you. Most times, people that, if you give a contractor to do this for you, they may just get any kind of roof. But if you make your inquiries right, you understand the kind of roof you need that will suit that you're building. You also get to understand that you need some kind of very good cave for your windows when it comes to wind and rain. You know, buildings of those days, they usually have all of this cave. But buildings that people do now, they just do it anyhow they can. And it is key so that rain or wind will not disturb you while you are in the house, especially when it's raining. So I've been able to give you seven particular steps in building your first house. Well, if you have questions, I want to get your questions below. I want to hear from you. I want to know what you think. Please just drop your questions below. Let's discuss a lot more about how to build your first house. This video is key. Make sure that if you watch it from beginning to the end and share with people you know it could help. Hit your share button right now so that you can share it on your Facebook and all of your social media platform. Follow us up on all of our social media platform, and if you have not subscribed, please hit the subscribe button right now and turn on your notification bell to get notified on each time we do a post on the HTH TV. Remember, I always love you. Bye bye.